We're back. Some of us a little rougher wear than others, but we're here talking wrestling. Welcome to the Wrestling Council. Welcome to the Wrestling Council. I'm your host, Coming with Bob. Joined as always by my good friend Hollywood Frank.
Me, HW baby. What'd you put on me?
Frank pissed off Chuck Norris, so he punched him from heaven.
Yeah. If you really want to see what Chuck Norris did to me, hold on.
Yeah, we'll get that up in a minute. But anyway, you can catch us here most Tuesdays.
Yep.
7 p.m. Eastern Time, talking about all the news and wrestling. You follow us below as well on social media. It's also in the link description. Hell of a couple of weeks, man.
Yes,
Hell of a couple of weeks. Maldacito was first. Said, "Sup, people? What's up, Maldacito? Appreciate you being here, brother."
Sup?
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 Hello.
What's up?
What's up?
Let's see here. Appreciate you, brother. I'm like parsing through all my stuff here. Then Leg Kick was at Hail, the Wrestling Council. Hail, Leg Kick. Maldacito, if you're driving home, dude, please be safe. Take care of yourself. By the way, I forgot to tell you, Big Daddy sent some thoughts and prayers your way when you were under.
He reached out to me.
Cool. And I am still in the process of like getting everything together here. But yeah, it was a couple of it was a little bit concerning for my boy there for a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
But pulled through it. He's back here. And we're gonna talk some wrestling. Which there's quite a bit to talk about. One of the things like I said, we'll probably hold off on that for our GBU. But yeah. How much wrestling did you watch? I mean, did you get caught up?
Not totally. Like I didn't get back in Ohio till Wednesday last week, and then with my doctor's appointment on Thursday, and then work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I didn't get a whole lot of opportunity.
Okay.
It's been a recovery week for me.
Right. As it should be. But that's weird. I was putting subtitles on the friggin' the Facebook. Which, by the way, we are streaming from YouTube, Facebook, and X. So hopefully some people will see us in places they have not seen us before. But did you manage to go back and like check out at least the highlights for like Revolution and everything?
Yeah.
Okay. But a lot of news coming out of wrestling. See here, I'm just gonna wait and see if more people can get get in here a little bit here. The Observer. No, go away. But there's a lot of things going on, of course. And we will talk about all of that stuff. But before we do that, let's go ahead and get into our favorite segment, a little something we call The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. By the way, I apologize. I am a little behind on everything right now. I was playing tech support up until about 10 minutes ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But since Frank is back and he's back in the saddle, and it's an odd number, the GBU falls to you, sir. So what's your GBU for this week, my brother?
Go a couple of different goods. My good from United Champions, not United Champions, Revolution, excuse me. I think I'm not United Champions because that's probably not going to happen in Saudi Arabia this year. Anyways, Revolution, the good, the Last Chance Texas Death Match, MJF versus Hangman Adam Page. I think best match of the night. I didn't see everything that night, but I'll go out best match of the night. Maybe Takeshita versus Moxley could equal that.
Yep.
But the blood and gore and Everlast with MJF and Hangman. I mean,
yeah, it ain't my cup of tea, but I get why people like it. It was intense.
Yeah, and if you do it sparingly, it makes it intense and makes it better. When you do it every single match, every single match John Moxley is in, it gets old real quick.
Yeah, and that's the problem we've been talking about for a while.
And the return. Crowns up.
Yes, sir. Elevated.
Bruh. Will Ospreay is returning.
He's back. He's already had a match.
And great to see. You know, any kind of surgery, any kind of injury is nothing to mess around with, especially if it's back, neck, whatever. But good to see him back.
Yep.
And hopefully we see him chasing a world title sometime this year.
Yeah, I think that's the plan. I think that's the whole reason why they turned Swerve heel, because I think it's going to end up being him and Swerve at the end of the year.
For WWE, the good, Psycho Sid and Demolition getting into the, even though they don't have a physical building, but seeing them both get into the Hall of Fame. Well deserved for both of them, especially Demolition. Why they were held back for so long, I don't know. Just should have happened a long time ago. But and that's my good. My bad is I wouldn't say it's bad because I thought it was injury related, but no Tony Storm for the rest of the year, which is probably she has a baby on the way. Her and Juicy Juice.
Yep.
Haven't officially come out.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. I think they're keeping it under wraps for right now, but I think that's what it is.
But if you're scheduled for a match and then all of a sudden it's like that, you're pulled and there's no injury set up or injury detailed before that.
That's usually what it is.
Seems like that's what it is.
Yeah.
And
they said officially it wasn't an injury. I was like,
right.
Okay.
And bad is we didn't get a chance to talk about it, but Conan losing one of his legs.
Yep.
You know, and it's a possibility he could lose the other one down in the future as well. Excuse me. Hate for anybody to I mean him and Buff Bagwell both. But
yeah. Seems like this like losing a limb is something that a lot of wrestlers later in life end up facing that issue, because I know that what's his name, Raven was also having those kind of problems, and he was concerned that he might lose a leg.
Yeah.
And was it George the Animal Steel that he caught an infection?
That I don't remember.
Something like that. But I swear there was something that happened, and but yeah, like the whole some kind of like an issue with legs or whatnot, like that kind of thing. That happens a lot.
Yeah, it does.
But and it's like I said, these guys they beat the crap out of bodies. A lot of them abuse different things, different substances, things like that, and that stuff comes back on them eventually. So it's unfortunate.
It is.
And I think it's gotten better. I think health wise and in relation to those kind of things, there's a lot more help for them today than there used to be.
Yeah.
But man, a lot of old timers, man, that's something that they go through a lot.
And speaking of health issues, there was your boy.
Let's see here. There you go.
Last Saturday night into Tuesday night.
Yeah. Chuck got you good.
This guy, Chuck got me good.
Yep.
This guy was in the hospital for 3
Yep.
days.
Yeah, Kamala. Yeah, Kamala was another one.
Went to
Because
visit
of diabetic neuropathy, yeah.
Yeah, went to visit some friends for a fantasy baseball draft on Saturday night in Chambersburg, PA. All ready for the draft. Started at 5:00. And next thing I remember is waking up in the hospital probably about 40 to 45 minutes later.
Yeah, that's gotta be scary.
Super
scary.
Probably scared the crap out of my friends who just saw me go.
Yeah.
Stand there 1 second and hit the ground the next.
Yeah, I don't imagine that's an exciting thing, man. It's like, what the crap?
HW's on the road to recovery, getting stronger every day.
Yep.
And do what I can to keep myself healthy.
Yeah, definitely do that, brother.
And my other ugly. Well, since yours truly can't drive a car for another month, a little hard for me to go to the gym, unfortunately. And then my ugly is I'm still not excited about this WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's why you notice the title of the stream. It's like, so wrestling, yeah, okay.
It just feels flat to me.
Yeah,
it really does.
I mean, I'm actually more excited about the Obafemi Brock match than I am about the two championship matches.
Yeah,
but yeah, we'll talk more about that.
It's not moving the needle for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The only good thing is apparently they've allowed local bars and stuff like that. They released a restriction on them being able to show the WrestleMania in the Las Vegas area.
Yeah, it was going to be blacked out, and then they
had another ticket price thing with lower ticket prices. So who knows?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's at the end of the day, WrestleMania, it's still going to be the biggest wrestling show of the year.
It is.
It's still going to make a buttload of money. The question is it going to lose money compared to years past?
I don't think it'll lose money because Mark Shapiro and them have made it a concerted effort to raise the prices because they want to sell out everything. They don't want to sell out everything. They want to raise the prices because they feel they could get more, and that McMahon was catering to families
Yeah.
by keeping ticket prices lower than what they feel they should be.
Yeah. And it's that whole thing with like sports teams. So like, yeah, it's nice when you sell out the stadium, but if you sell the stadium out if you sell out 3/4 of the stadium, but you sell it out with higher price tickets, you'll make more money. And that's kind of the mindset that TKO has. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. It's kind of it just feels lackluster, which
It does.
which leads into my GBU. So my good, I'm going to parrot you. Part of it is Will Ospreay. Johnny said, another week I didn't feel like watching wrestling, but my good are Danhausen clips on my various social media feeds. Dude, he's doing over there. He's doing exactly what they brought him in there to do. He's doing little comedy skits and he's selling t-shirts.
Yep.
That's exactly what they brought him in there to do, and that's exactly what's happening. So good on him, man. He's making good on what they wanted from him.
Yeah,
Getting paid. But man, my good, Will Ospreay, the aerial assassin, is back. Sorely missed, desperately needed. And looks good. He's got some ring rust, obviously. The match that he had. He took some good bumps though, so it's clear that he's that's one of the things I was concerned about, is that bringing him back too soon. But it looks like he's healed up. He's healed up all the way. He did say in an interview that he is going to adjust his style a little bit. But that's something that people have been telling him he should do for a long time. They're like, look, dude, you could dial it back. You could go at 3/4 speed and still be Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's a smart thing to do. You know what I mean? Just kind of like AJ. You do what AJ did. You keep the majority of your repertoire, but you just change the way you work in the ring a little bit.
Yep.
So he's still friggin' AJ friggin' Styles. So, but that and like I said, man, Brock and Obafemi, I think that's the best thing happening in WWE right now. I'm excited about that match. That match, I'm more excited about that match than I am about everything else at WrestleMania so far. That's the match that's got the most interest in me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was my good. The bad, obviously, another death. We lost Dennis Condrey. Half of the original lineup of the Midnight Express. I'm trying to find the stat on his. I believe he was 74. He passed away on Friday. I don't believe he had an illness or anything like that. Go away. But yeah, man, back in the original Midnight Express, it was Dennis Condrey and Bobby Eaton. Eventually Dennis would be replaced by Stan Lane. Which is that's the version of the Midnight Express that I grew up with. I remember Dennis a little bit, but Bobby and Stan were the version of the Midnight Express that I remember.
Yeah.
And originally it was Dennis and Randy Rose, right?
I believe so.
And then, but Randy got replaced with Bobby Eaton, and then Stan got replaced with. Dennis got replaced with Stan. And Condrey left when Condrey left NWA. He and Rose went back together as a tag team in AWA, I believe, or somewhere. Maybe it was Mid-South. I don't remember. And then they had a feud where it was they were the original Midnight Express versus the Midnight Express, and everybody remembers that. But he was active for a long time, dude. He was still active all the way through until like 2010. So, but yep, thoughts and prayers to his family. A lot of people were. There was an outpouring of it. I know that they started a GoFundMe to cover his funeral costs, because I do know that he kind of fell on some hard times, like a lot of wrestlers did. So broke his neck falling at home. Yeah, it wasn't like an illness or anything like that. It was like an injury or something. Yeah, I knew that. I knew it was really fast. It was quick. So, but. Like I said, I don't like the Hangman can't challenge for the title again. Stupid stipulation. Yeah, they kind of gave themselves out with that though, because Tony Khan came out and then said that that even though him and Max said that, they never passed it through AEW management, so they never made it official. So if he goes heel again, he can do it. So yeah, they kind of left him out with that thing. So I knew it was going to happen, but anyway. But that's my bad, and my ugly is this tweeting crap with Ricochet. Dear God Almighty, have you seen this?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. Look, I understand trying to get like trying to get heat. I understand, that whole thing. But my God, dude. Have a brain about you. You can't do stuff like that. You're gonna absolutely tank your freaking career. And there's actually some talk that they're saying that's why he was made to lose the national championship. When he basically, if anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, he made a post saying that he was glad that there was a young lady, because he's leaning into the heel persona thing. That he told a fan that he was glad she had multiple sclerosis, and he apologized. He did apologize and take it down. Apparently, Chris Hero was the person who reached out to him and told him to take it down. Not a good idea. It's a pretty ugly thing. So, yeah, not a. I firmly believe Ricochet wasn't trying to get heat. He's just that thin-skinned. He does have a tendency to kind of. I think he gets too engrossed into it. I do think that the majority of what he's doing is he's just leaning into the heel thing, but there are times like he'll get heated with people. Like he's in that situation where he's like, I don't give a crap anymore because I don't work for WWE. Problem is, we know that Tony Khan, when he gets leaned on by Warner Brothers Discovery, he'll fold like a cheap suit. So if he says anything too spicy, he might see himself out of a job. So that went down perilous in ways and passed. I knew it was an illness leg kick. I just couldn't remember. I knew it was really sudden. I couldn't remember if it was just like a natural cause, like a heart attack or something, or if he was in an accident. I couldn't remember. But yeah, apparently Dennis he fell, broke his neck. It was paralyzed from waist down, and then passed away at the hospital. I know. I haven't watched it yet, but I know that Cornette did a big episode on it. So, but anyway, that's my GBU. Good Lord, what do we talk about first? Did we talk about this like what the hell's going on in WWE, and like what's the plan?
I don't know what the plan is. Like, part of the plan is Braun Breaker going to get cleared before WrestleMania?
I think he will.
I could care less about Jelly Roll being in WrestleMania. I really could.
Same. Now here's a question: Are we going to get Danhausen's first match at WrestleMania?
No.
You don't think so?
Nope.
I think so. I think he's going to be. I think that Danhausen is going to make his in-ring debut at WrestleMania, and I think it'll be a tag match. It'll be him,
him and the Miz,
him and the Miz, or something like that versus whoever. After that World Cup song release, I don't really want to see Jelly Roll for a minute. But yeah, so where's it at here? So I've got the card right now. And so far, there are only 5 matches officially announced. Now, there's a bunch of them that they're hinting at, and we're pretty sure that we know, but a bunch of them are. Sorry. But of the matches that they have announced, 4 of them are going to be good. A couple of them will probably be really good. One of them, I don't really care. But all of them, I feel like the build, like, and again, we got 3 weeks. This could completely turn around. But so far, I could not care less about 90% of this stuff. Like, I'm kind of invested in Cody versus Randy because it's Cody and Randy.
It is, and we would like to see Cody turn heel.
Yes, and I would like to see Randy get one more title.
Yeah,
so I feel like he deserves one more run. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. As much as I like both of the guys involved, I really don't give a shit about Punk versus Roman.
I don't either.
I just don't care. Leg kick. AEW puts on a better pay-per-view, in my opinion. Their pay-per-views are more exciting. I definitely think that's true. On average, I think their pay-per-views are more exciting.
Their pay-per-views are longer.
Yeah, they're really long too. You get your money's worth, I'll tell you that.
Right.
Like I said, WrestleMania is no excitement. I could care less about Obafemi. Nothing really great in the whole thing. I like the Omafemi Brock build-up. I do like it. I think Omafemi's got possibility. I also think it's the kind of thing that could die really quick.
Yeah.
I think the gimmick that he has, I think that could, on the main roster, I think that's the kind of thing that could get old real fast. But I think if they do this right, they could build him up. He could be the next Mark Henry. I really do think that that's a possibility. But again, it's all in the execution, right?
Yep.
So we got to wait and see what happens there. But yeah, dude, just and like the segment that they did this week on Raw with Punk and Roman.
Yeah,
I can't point to any one thing in particular that I thought was like glaringly bad or anything like that. I'm just watching it and I'm like, this is just more of the same shit.
SSDD
that we have seen over the last 3 years. And it's literally, you look at the way they're doing the bloodline stuff. It's like they're going backwards.
Yep.
You know, it's like they're going back to, you know, Roman treating his family like crap, talking down to him, telling him what to do, and they're going to help him beat down anybody that gets in their way. And I'm like, I thought that we were going to have an evolution of this thing. Like, what's going on here? Like, but yeah, when I think about that match, I'm like, look, it'll be a good match. Okay. Punk tells a really great story, even though he doesn't have, the same athletic ability he used to have. And he was never like, the best athlete. He's extremely good at telling a story in the ring. Roman's good at, good at what he does. The match will be fine, but I don't care. I really don't care. And Cody versus Randy, it's going to be a slow burn. By the time we get to WrestleMania, I think I'll be invested in Cody Randy more. I'm a little invested in it now just because of their history.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see what happens with Randy if he calls in his Evolution teammates, because that's a possibility. Someone said there's also a possibility that he might be, since he's been found innocent, that he might be calling up Ted DiBiase Jr. I was like, that's pretty much a stretch, man. I don't know if that's going to happen. It'd be pretty funny, man. He's like, Legacy, it's back for 5 minutes. But yeah, I'm sure that match will be good. That match will, they'll get that one firing eventually. But right now, it's just, it's very slow burn. But Women's World Championship, Stephanie McCoy versus Liv Morgan, I could not care less.
Nope.
I could not care less about that match. I'm just like, okay, it'll probably be a decent match. Stephanie's, very good. Lives a lot better than she used to be. It'll be fine, but who cares? And then Rhea versus Jade. Everybody knows what's going to happen. Rhea's going to kill Jade.
She should.
And Jade is so one-dimensional, and it's not even funny. The best thing about that match is going to be the entrance.
The entrances for both women are going to be longer than the entire match.
I don't know if it's going to be longer than it might be. Very well could be. I don't know if it's going to be longer than the match. It'll be more interesting than the match.
It'll be more interesting. But yeah, the match will be 5 to 7 minutes tops.
Yep. I think it'll be. I think it might make 10 minutes.
They're giving Jade a lot more credit than she deserves.
Well, I put it this way, it won't be. I didn't say it would be a good 10 minutes. I said it'll be 10 minutes. Okay, it'll be Rhea dragging her carcass around for 10, 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And then Femi versus Brock. I think that's going to eventually end up being really good. Or it has the potential to be good. And then, so what are the other matches?
They did make official yesterday AJ versus Becky Lynch.
Yeah. Oh yeah. AJ versus Becky Lynch. Are they going to put AJ Lee over top of Becky again?
No.
I hope not. Because this has been nothing.
Well, AJ's part-time. Like, they don't need her.
Doesn't matter, dude. They'll put a belt on someone and they'll defend it once every 5 months.
They've done it with Roman Reigns. They've done it with Brock Lesnar.
They've done it with a bunch of people, man. Look how long it took Julia to defend her title, man. It took her 4 months. She was off television for almost 4 months before she defended that belt the first time.
Rumored match is her versus Tiffy time for the U.S. Championship.
Who versus Tiffy?
Julia.
Oh, Julia versus Tiffany. Okay, I mean it'll be a good match. Where's the buildup?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I mean I'm sure we're gonna get El Grande Americano in
versus
something.
El Grande Americano. Yeah.
Well, we already did that.
What, we had El Grande versus El Grande?
Yeah, didn't we?
I don't think so.
I thought we did.
They were both together in the ring for Royal Rumble.
Didn't they do something in AAA? I thought they.
They could have done something down there, but does the E even consider AAA legitimate?
Supposedly, dude, they talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
They showed the AAA title on television when
They
Dom
talk
had it.
about the speed championships also, and who gives a shit about those?
Mr. Ring Rust Roman Reigns.
Like,
Yeah,
I don't even know. I don't even know.
know.
I don't know anybody who's been the speed champion. I don't know anybody that is a speed champion right now. Like,
Is that belt still going?
I don't know.
This is, when we talked about the state of wrestling, this is what we're talking about, man. It's like, what is it? What is any of this? What is going on? I genuinely don't understand.
Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu could be good. They've been building up that. Dominic Mysterio versus Finn Balor, that's been building, so that
one will be
good.
okay. Those two matches will be okay. Dom versus Finn will be decent. Dom, actually, I think they're saying that they might set up a 4-way for the IC title, and if that's the case, if it ends up being Finn versus Dom versus Penta, and I can't remember who else they were talking about putting in that. It sucks for Penta, but you got to put the belt on Finn, don't you?
Finn deserves a title run.
Yeah, he does.
But, who knows?
Does he come out? If he does he come out as the Demon?
If he comes out a Demon, it's going to be a hell of a match.
Yeah, Madison said they were in the Rey de Reyes tournament where Kaiser won against Escobar, LaParks, and Gable. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, and didn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong, man, because I didn't watch it. I just was reading about it. Didn't it come down to Kaiser versus Gable and he won? Dude, I'll tell you, that's another thing right there. Like, Ludwig Kaiser is done in WWE. He can never go back to the Ludwig Kaiser. He's got to be El Grande Americano forever.
Yeah.
Which I don't think he has a problem with. Cause he's over like Rover, dude. He's killing it as far as how over he is right now. With that given, he got that gimmick over way better than Chad Gable did. I'll give him credit on that.
Since he doesn't have Tiffy anymore, he might as well stay under the mask.
Yeah, and you
also have possibility of the Usos versus the Vision being Logan Paul and Austin Theory part.
Well, yeah, I think, and I think they're saying no. Rio and Bravo stopped Gable from getting back in the ring. Okay. But it was Kaiser that eliminated him, right? But anyway, yeah, and I'll be honest with you, man. Just put the tag belts on Paul and
Theory.
In Theory,
I hope so.
Just do something with the damn belts, man. They're those things are they're like rotting fruit on the vine. Which I can't understand. You got a couple of the best tag teams in the world, and your tag division sucks donkey nuts.
Yeah,
so bad.
You got the Motor City Machine Guns, and it's like you just doing nothing with them.
Shoot, man. As a matter of fact, let me look at this real quick here for a second.
Other rumored matches are Carmelo Hayes versus Ilya Dragunov, the Wyatt Six versus the MFTs, and Trick Williams versus Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
We've already mentioned Braun Breaker versus Rollins, as long as they're both cleared to compete.
Yep.
What I think is, and there might be more matches on top of that, but what I think is a slap in the face is if you're gonna have like a Jolly Roll and possibly ISO Speed in there. This is going to be the second WrestleMania in a row that one of your women's who helped revolutionize the division is sitting at home. And that would be one Bailey.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get they're talking that they think she and Lyra are gonna have a filler match because basically they're gonna turn on each other. Which, whatever.
Yeah.
That's fine. But yeah, dude, like I'm running through here and I'm looking at current tag teams in WWE, and dude, there are more female tag teams than there are male. Let that sink in for a second. There are more female tag teams right now than there are like legitimate male tag teams. You got the Creed brothers. You got, technically, I guess Judgment Day, JD McChicken Nugget and Dominic could be a tag team, but Los Americanos, Los Garza, the MFTs, which is the dumbest freaking name ever, by the way. Motor City Machine Guns, New Day. Pretty deadly, but one of them is injured, right?
I think so.
Street Profits,
who are just now coming back. They
who are just now coming back. Yeah,
I have an idea for them.
I mean, Logan Paul and Bronson Reed, I guess. The War Raiders and the Wyatt Six. That's it. But for the women, they've got Ren QC, Secret Service, the Ring Queens, Mission and BFAB, Lila Diggs and Mason Holiday, the Kabuki Warriors, Judgment Day, which is Raquel and Roxanne, Irresistible Force, Lash Legend and Nia Jax, the Green Regime, Chelsea Green, Alba Fire, and Piper Niven, Julia Kiana James, Fatal Influence, the Bella Twins, Bailey and Lyra. There's more freaking female teams than there are male teams.
Yep.
What kind of shit is that? They never get used. No. And granted, a bunch of them are in there because they got nothing else to do. But when you have on your page, when you have them listed as tag teams, you've got more tag teams than your men's division, and you got 2 sets of belt for your men's division. The hell are you doing, man? And you've got you've got a team like the Lucha Brothers, who are one of the best teams in the world. You're not doing anything with them. You could really, they should rebuild the entire tag team division around Penta and Ray. Kind of like they did, like 7 or 8 years, about 7 or 8 years ago when they built it around the Usos and the New Day and the Bar. Remember that?
Yep.
You had a 3-team setup that were 3 dominant teams, and then they would fight against their brothers. You could do the same thing right now.
You could
re-energize that tag team division, but they won't.
No,
because they don't care. If it ain't Jelly Roll versus Uncle Cracker for the buffet belt, I don't want to see it. I'd watch that. Shoot. I'd watch that for the play. Here's the thing though. Jelly Roll lost a bunch of weight, dude. He's not much of a fat dude anymore. Let me see. Jelly Roll current weight. He lost like 200 and something pounds. Yeah, he's 265 right now, and he weighed over 500. He has lost 275 pounds. Good God, dude. Well, props to him, man. Well done.
Yeah. And then all these people we're talking about.
It's bad.
We do have to have the realization that after WrestleMania, it could be chop, chop, chop.
Oh, it's definitely going to be chop, chop, chop. I'd be surprised if like right now. All right, hang on a minute. Let's pull up. You know what? Let's do this. All right, see your WWE roster. Official WWE Superstar roster. All right. Let's look at their current roster. And let's look at Raw first. All right, here's Raw. All right. AJ's retired. I don't know what it is. Alicia Taylor. She's the announcer, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. Asuka, she's not going anywhere. Bailey, probably not going anywhere. Becky, probably not going to Brie. They'll be there for a couple of months and then they'll leave again. Kathy Kelly. No one cares.
No.
She could be on the chopping block. Cruz del Toro. Who cares? Nobody cares. Probably could be on the chopping block. What did he jump like that for? Ivar. Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if they cut the Viking Raiders.
I would not be surprised either.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. Ivy Nile, probably not going anywhere. Io Sky, probably not going, no, definitely not going anywhere. Jackie Redmond, she's another announcer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's probably not going anywhere. John Evans, not going anywhere. Joaquin Wild, he's probably okay. The Creed brothers, dude, there's another group of guys right there that could be gone. The Creed brothers, they haven't done jack with the Creed brothers.
Not since Chad Gable has been El Grande Americano.
Yep. Lyra Mercurio, Maxine Dupree, she'll be fine. Natalia, dude, I wouldn't be surprised if Natalia gets cut because like even though they did the character change, it has done nothing. Hey, Big Daddy, appreciate you being here, sir. Big Daddy said, "I'm late." Hey, yo, hey, never too late, Big Daddy, never too late.
Hey, yo.
The Learning Tree, guys.
Yep.
The original Learning Tree. Pat McAfee's gone. I know he's already gone. Pete Dunne.
What are they doing with that boy?
I honestly don't know, dude. I think they're just throwing him wherever they got a slot. Rayo Americano. Who knows? Rusev. Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if they cut Rusev again.
It would surprise me either.
Tyler Bate. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets cut again. He's working behind the scenes though, isn't he?
Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if Grayson Waller gets chopped.
I wouldn't be either. So SmackDown, Alba Fire, she's probably okay. Aleister Black, probably okay. Alex Shelley, dude, Motor City Machine Guns might get chopped. They're not doing anything with it. Angel, he's probably, there's a chance he could be gone. Apollo Crews, he could be gone. Axiom, he's pretty popular over in NXT. Berto, he could be gone. B-Fab, she could be gone. Candice LeRae, they're not doing jack with her either.
Nope.
Dude, the Wyatt Six, I wouldn't be surprised if half of them get cut. Chris Sabin. Johnny Gargano. He's not doing anything. Lash Legends, she's okay. Mission, she's probably okay. Matt Cardona, they just brought him in. Nathan Frazier. maybe. Nikki Cross ain't even done jack with her.
Nope.
Stop it. Nakamura. Well, Nakamura, I think Nakamura's done after this year anyway.
Yeah, so is Rey Mysterio and
Yeah, and so is Ray. Yeah.
probably Brock Lesnar.
So we just named about 15 people that they could cut and it wouldn't affect them at all.
No, not at all.
And that's 15 people. That's at least 15 people. So, and that's just from Raw and SmackDown, dude. You look at freaking NXT, and dude, you could just look at the entire roster of NXT and go, any one of them could go tomorrow. No matter how good they are, no matter what, it's just a matter of what does anybody feel about them.
Yeah.
All like for instance, Dark State. Every single dude in Dark State could be gone tomorrow after WrestleMania in a big cut. And it wouldn't affect them at all. Nobody would care. Johnny's surprise probably moved to AAA. I can see some of them moving to AAA. I could see the Wyatt Six moving to AAA, and they might actually be able to do something with them there. Yeah, dude, and we said this from the start, man. Like, look, I understand what they wanted to do. I understand that they wanted to honor Bray Wyatt. I get it, but a faction like that has a shelf life, man.
Yeah, and you don't have the innovator there anymore, and it's
it's obvious
how good Bray Wyatt was. His brother is not even half as good.
Yeah, it's his creativity was on another level. It really was. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, and that always happens after WrestleMania. They always have that kind of a calling thing. Like within a month of WrestleMania, you're seeing, a dozen, 24 people.
And you have to purge these people because guys like Ricky Saints and
Ethan Page are waiting to come up.
Ethan Page, Blake Monroe deserve their opportunities.
Yep.
And they're not going to with the bloated roster you have in Raw and SmackDown right now.
Yeah. Well, and it's not even that the roster's bloated. It's just that you've got people already there you're not doing anything with. And if you're not doing anything with them, clear the roster. That's the way WWE has always thought. Clear the roster, bring in someone from the next rung down who we can do something with.
Yeah.
Or that has some heat on them. So, and I'll be honest, man, I'm actually kind of surprised we haven't gotten Ethan Page and Ricky Starks already. I thought they were going to end up being involved in this whole thing with Seth and the Vision. But yeah, I think, but yeah, overall right now, man, Raw had 37 minutes of wrestling on it. That was it. 37 minutes of actual wrestling. The rest was just talking.
Yeah.
Now there were some things I thought were good. Overall, I thought the show was kind of bland. Same thing with AEW this week. AEW's television the last few weeks has been a lot better. This week it fell flat.
Yep.
This wrestling this week was very flat for me. Outside of a few things here and there. And yeah, like I said, we still got 3 weeks left before WrestleMania. But right now, there's 2 matches that I give a crap about, and I don't give a crap about the rest. And there's a couple of matches that are probably going to be made that I give a crap about, and the rest couldn't care less. Couldn't care less. And I don't know how, and I don't know what they're going to do to liven it up. And that consensus seems to be across the board. Most people are looking at WrestleMania set up so far this year, and they're like,
Why?
where is it? Where's the fire? Where's that thing that's going to snatch everybody's attention? It was Cody 2 years ago. It was Cody versus Roman 2 years ago. You know, the last year was kind of the same thing. And then this year, last year, there was a little bit more excitement because of Cena. But even then, going in that match at WrestleMania, the way that they botched Cena's heel turn, that this year they don't even have that to lean on. So, but all right, I think that's about it. Yeah, it was a weird week.
Just a little bit.
It was a really weird week. It was a rough week for everybody too. But
I'm just glad to be home.
Yep.
Glad to be out of the hospital.
On the mend. Yep. Take care of your health, guys. And
tomorrow's never promised, so
yeah, no, it's not, man. Make sure you're right with God. But it was a rough week, man. Like I said, Dennis Connery died. Chuck Norris, man, that was a rough one for me. I love Chuck Norris.
And what is it? Sam Keith?
Yeah. That was for me, a comic book guy. For all my comic book guys out there, man. Sam Keith dying, that was a shock, dude. He was like 60 something. That was it. He
63, I think.
Yeah, he wasn't very old. But yeah, really influential comic book artist and creator. And for comic book nerds like me, that was just like out of left field, man. I was like, oh my God. But yeah, very unique guy too, as far as his style and everything was concerned. Really cool dude. That book he did, the Max, that was one of the most unique books ever done.
Yeah,
I love that book, and the animated series that they did for MTV, was fantastic too. But yep. But anyway, yeah. Let's hopefully this week will be a little bit better, and we'll see how they do setting things up. Later, people. Glad you're better, Hollywood. Yep. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate all the prayers and everything. And yep, take care of yourself, guys. And we will see you next week. Bye.